is fighting natural? Are humans designed to fight? Now, you always hear about martial artists turn around saying about how the human body ain't really designed for fighting, and you shouldn't really be punching with your hands because you can break your knuckles in your hands and things like that. They're designed for more delicate, intricate things, and that's what splits us from other animals and things like that. Now, I do agree with them, but I also think that they don't give humans enough credit for toughness and are designed to fight. I mean, if you look at the history of humans going back, we were a lot tougher going back thousands of years ago, and they've proven things like that with bone density. They reckon we was a lot smaller and a lot more, again, like I say, with the bone density, a lot more thicker. So that just goes to show that we were designed to go through a lot more rougher stuff. And also, like, you study the bones of a skeleton from years ago, they've always seemed to have a lot more injuries, a lot more breaks and fractures in their bones, which I'm not saying is necessarily a good thing, but the point I'm trying to get at is, are we naturally designed to fight? Well, we do have a fight or flight thing in our body. If we're threatened, we either panic and we fly, or we stay and we get an adrenaline rush and we fight. Now, a lot of stuff happens to the human body when you go to fight, or when you go to do exercise, which obviously fighting very physical, so it sort of counts along the same thing. Blood rushes to the brain, to the heart, to your muscles. Certain organs slow down and not work as much because they know you're in this situation. You need to go to the toilet. Now, that can sometimes be a sign of, obviously, if we was going to get eaten or something, you could go, if you go to the toilet, you're going to smell, so you're not going to be very nice to eat, but it's also so you don't sort of wear yourself in that, when you get in that situation, whether it's a fight, blah, blah, whatever it is. But, like I say, I'll go on a bit of a tangent here, but like I was saying, anyway, back to thousands of years ago, us as humans were probably fighting all the time in little tribes. Now, before we learned to pick up weapons and learnt that weapons were a lot more effective, we probably did use our fists. Even when we learnt weapons were more effective, just like nowadays, just because you get in a fight or in a road rage with someone, you might want to punch them, but you might think twice about picking up a weapon and hitting them. Because although you're angry and you're in a rage, you instinctively know that weapon's going to cause more damage to them and harm them more serious than maybe a punch would. Now, like I was saying, yeah, hands ain't exactly the most greatest things. You can easily break knuckles and bones in your hands because they are quite small. But again, back in the older days, your hands were a lot more tougher. The bones would have been a lot more tougher. And plus as well, they probably would have broken them, but carried on anyway. And as well, you've got knuckle conditioning, hand conditioning, bone conditioning. When you exercise and when you constantly hit things, your hands become tougher. Now, if you was a young man growing up thousands and thousands of years ago, you was probably fighting a lot, fighting with your siblings, so your hands probably would have got a lot tougher. So when people say we're not necessarily designed to fight, I think the way we do fight, I think it shows that we are designed to fight. We are designed to wrestle and to punch and to strike. Yeah, it might have been a little more different back thousands of years ago to maybe now, but that's because we've evolved. And like I said, believe it or not, probably actually evolved a bit weaker. I believe we're obviously maybe physically stronger and physically got better cardio, and we're a lot bigger now than thousands of years ago, but we weren't maybe as tough. And I mean, for getting a bit beaten up and battered and bruised, but carry on going, carry on fighting. Because back then you had to fight for your life. Nowadays you're fighting in a sport, in a cage, and things along them lines. It's just how basically what's been playing on my mind. Like I say, a lot of people you hear it all the time saying, oh, we're not designed for fighting and things like that. But it's just like why men have beards is to help protect their chin, which is vulnerable to you could get knocked out, and help protect their neck is one of the reasons why they reckon that you grow beards and things along them lines, to show that we are, as a human race, designed to fight. There's a reason why men have testosterone. Also, with women protecting their young, there's a reason why women can go absolutely savage and be awesome fighters. So yeah, it's just like I've just been pondering, just wanted to make a video about it, didn't quite know how to make a video about it, so I thought I'd just literally stick the camera on and just talk. But I'm really interested to know if any of you agree with me, disagree with me. I think it's an interesting debate, really. Like I say, I do get where people come from. I have broken my hands before, but I still carry on boxing, I still carry on hitting, I still don't wear hair wraps, which I probably should do, and I haven't broken my bone in my hand since. So it just goes to show that maybe it does heal and grow tougher. Plus as well, I've done a lot more hand conditioning since then. I do a lot more grip workouts. Now, again, like I was saying, back to 1,000 years ago, you would have got that naturally by climbing, by doing things. Like you would have had to have done it from such a young age, where nowadays the young kids obviously would go to school, they don't have to fend for themselves as they would have done years ago. So like I said, it's interesting to see, because again, I think we're stronger now, we're bigger, cardio would have probably definitely been a lot better and things like that, but just for toughness and conditioning, like again with like your bone density, with certain things like that, 1,000 years ago we probably were definitely a lot stronger in that sense. So if anyone says to you again that we're not designed for fighting, or humans are not natural born fighters and things like that, then maybe show them this video. I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm definitely saying it's something to think about.